It's Trey, and you already know what we're doing here. We're reviewing a beer. And today's beer is the Hoppin Original Turbo Sandy Citrus Ale. I want to say right off the bat, it feels a little redundant because if you don't know what a Shandy is, it's usually a beer cocktail mixed with citrus flavors. But not only is it Turbo Shandy, it tells you it's a citrus ale. So, looking at the rest of the can real quick, I love the little frog buddy on it. It's ale with natural flavor added, 7% alcohol volume, and born from European tradition, our Shandy is a refreshing combination of lemon and light malt flavors. A little maltiness. But unlike traditional Shandies, Turbo Shandy revs it up a couple notches with an assertive, full-flavored approach as only Hoppin Frog can do. Yeah, this is from Hoppin Frog Brewery in Akron, Ohio. Wow, what a place. Let's give it a little open. Grab my glass, which we're just going with unmarked glass today. A little classic glass. Alright. I'm liking the little color there, or lack thereof. It gives me, the color tells me that I really am going to taste just some real citrus type flavor. Now let's see. It smells citrusy. It smells citrusy. It looks citrusy. Holy shit. The second it touches your lip, the absolute second it touches your lip and your tongue, you are just met with that citrus taste. That is advertised. There's no second kick in. There is no, it's straight just. Yeah, wow. That lives up to what the can says. I'm gonna tell you that's a 5 on the advertised taste. It says what it does. It says it's gonna be a citrus ale, and compared to everything else I've tasted so far, and even other beers I just had in general, that flavor just hits so quick. It's a little, it's crisp. It's a little crisp. I will say I guess it could be more crispy, which is very weird to say out loud. In my head, that sounds right. Out loud, it does not sound right. Because I don't think I should describe a beer that way. But, I mean, you do want some crispiness from beer, especially I feel like an ale. Getting into my general taste and enjoyment. So I feel like I'm on this high now because I just was not expecting that much flavor at once. I like it. I like all that flavor. The crispiness of it. I just wish it was a little crisper. It's not offensive. It's not offensive in its taste where I'm trying to there's a little bit of an aftertaste here. I am trying to get a little bit of that maltiness, and I think on the back of my tongue I'm tasting those more malt, harder flavors. I'm not I could definitely taste the oat, the chocolate, the nut, those more malty type of flavors. But I do feel this a little bit heaviness in the back at the end of the sip, immediately citrus taste, and a little bit of malt at the end there. And I like that transformation. I'm going to go with a 4 on the my personal enjoyment. A 4, easy. Now we got to. This is good. I think you guys need to try this one. I think it's interesting too. It's interesting. I think if you don't like beer, you should definitely try this. The chuggability. I said it was very, very citrusy, but I mean it is brought back a little bit by that maltiness at the end. So let's give this a little taste, see how dangerous it is. I'd say because you get so much of that citrusy sweetness, it could be a little harder. Definitely easier to chug than a lot of beers out there. but that little bit of sweetness does hold it back from being like a 5 or even like a 4.5, just because it is so sweet. I think it's almost like if you have too much syrup, you're just kind of for a second, if that makes sense. If you've had a lot of syrup, maybe you chug a bottle of syrup. You know, everyone does that. That's not weird. You're weird. That's not weird, guys. Come on. I could definitely see someone downing 2 of these really fast. That 7% really just doesn't kick in, I think. So I'd say it's decently dangerous, but I think you just have a hard time getting past like 30 ounces of this in a short amount of time without just feeling like that heaviness of not just beer, but the heaviness of like that's really sweet taste, unless you got a super sweet tooth. So with that, I think I'll go with a 3.5, closer to a 4, but for the sake of this, we're gonna go 3.5 on the danger level / chuggability of this. And with that, calculating all our wonderful numbers in all 3 categories, we have come to a final score of 4.3. 4.3 out of 5, and again, that never indicates that it means it's necessarily a bad beer. It's just in those categories. Really, the only thing that tells you if it's a bad beer or not is that second score, which is my personal enjoyment, which even then, it's my personal take, so you don't even have to fucking listen to me. You don't even have to watch this video. You can click off right now. It doesn't matter to anybody. I'm just the guy who's reviewing beer on YouTube in 2024. But back to the beer. I really enjoyed this. I want more of this. I want more of these beers that tell me I'm going to taste this shit, like especially these sweet citrus flavors, and just the second even, like I said, before it entered my mouth and I swallowed it, pause. Pause. When it touches my lip, I immediately knew that citrus flavor is in here. That's what, you know what? Let's just finish this. Shout out to the IKEA glasses. Delicious. If you have the opportunity to get this or try it, please do it. Probably one of the best beers I've had so far. I know I really like the stout, but as someone who, I'm already a fan of stouts, so I have a little bit of bias towards it. This, I don't have any bias towards, and I was trying just full fresh-minded. Great beer. Love it. I want to see more like in the future. I want to see more from this brewery, and I think I'm going to have to get some of that. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and be sure to tune in for the next beer review.